So now I want to talk about the circle of influence that we have. And this is so important because a lot of times we're focusing on the wrong things. We're focusing on the things that we can't change in our lives. So I want you to visualize this. There's an inner circle, which is a circle of control. And that's the things that you can change. That might be your thoughts, your behaviors, your patterns, the way you perceive something. You can reframe it possibly. What you choose to focus on during this time. You can control all those things. But most people focus outside of that. So outside of the focus of control, right outside of it is that circle of concern. It's an influence. It's things that we can influence that are outside. So the first one is circle of influence. These are things people are in our lives. For example, those people, we might be able to talk into feeling a certain way. We might be able to influence their behavior. We might be able to make some changes there. But it's really outside of our control. Might be able to influence them, but it doesn't guarantee. And a lot of people spend a lot of time here. They're trying to influence another person's behavior or reaction, how they should feel, what they should do. And it doesn't always go very well. We're trying to make people what they're not sometimes. But we put a lot of energy into it, and we don't put enough energy into the things that we can control. Because sometimes we have to be that example. And outside of that circle of influence, we have the circle of concern. And this could be what's happening in society. This could be the things that you're watching in the news. This could be things that you just happen in your community, you just can't do anything about. Problem is that most people stick to the circle of concern. But because they can't do anything about it, what they do is complain about it, they stress about it, they tell people about it, they spend all the time and energy focused on the things that are concerning to them. It raises their blood pressure, it creates anxiety, it creates stress, but there's nothing they could do. So what can you do about that? First thing is that you can look at what are the things that you can control. And then what are the things that you are out of your control, and be honest about it. And even looking at what are some of the things that you might be able to influence. And be prepared to let go of what you can't control. Because when you let go of that, then you have a lot more choices, and mentally it's better for you. So keep in mind that our behaviors are just a functions of our decision, not our situation. Meaning that the whole world around us can be falling apart, but we can still control how we perceive things, our emotions, and what we decide to do within our inner self. And that's what's important. So instead of saying, if I only had this, then this would be better. I can do this, I can change that. Instead of focusing if only this, if only that. Focus what I can be, what I can do. Shift that terminology. Because the more that you can focus on the things that you control, the better it is going to be for your life, the better it is going to be for you psychologically, emotionally, even physically. So focus on those things, prepare, write those things down, write some of those things, the things that you can control, the things that you can influence, and the things that concern you, and then scratch out the things that you can't really control and focus on the things that you can. And once you do that, for example, in our situations, we can't control what's happening, but we can control some of the resources that we have, some of the preparedness that we can. As far as food, we can control our emotional state. We can control how much we spend time focusing on the negative stuff, all those things. So pay attention to that and just focus on the things that you can control, and that'll make a huge impact in your life.